So this is just my opinion, and I don't know about you, but there has always been something a little bit off to me about Eric Swalwell. I never trusted him. Politics aside, this guy's my age, young politician. He's 45. He had his whole career in front of him, but something about him always seemed just a little bit off to me. And it's all being confirmed now. This is what happened today. A woman named Lana Dryers came forward and accused Swalwell of drugging her, of raping her, and choking her until she passed out in a West Hollywood hotel room.
He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died.
This is all in like the last 4 days. And the amount of detail to that woman's story was remarkable. And again, I wonder what Eric's wife is thinking about all of this right now. So far, no announcement, no separation. We'll see. I hope they stay together. I don't know what about Washington attracts people that do things like this. They get there and then they just ruin themselves. They get elected. And somewhere in the back of their minds, they've got this image of how a young married member of Congress or the Senate or the presidency is supposed to act. They figure, and I mean this totally seriously, they figure, these Democrats, that JFK did it. And he looked great doing it. He cheated. He philandered. Everybody loved him. He was martyred. So why can't I do it? And it's ruined so many careers, so many Democrats, although Republicans are not much better, and we'll get to them. But think about Gary Hart. Guy ran for president in 1988. The media loved him. They called him the next JFK. He got caught having an affair. He had to drop out of the race. And remember Tara Reade, the former Biden staffer who claims that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her on Capitol Hill in the Capitol building in broad daylight.
He had his hands underneath my clothes, and it happened all at once. He had one hand underneath my shirt, and the other hand I had a skirt on, and he went down my skirt and then went up.
So the media covered up all of that in the lead up to the 2020 election because the media wanted Joe Biden to beat Donald Trump. Tara Reade was forced to leave the country. She lives in Russia right now, believe it or not. And then, of course, there was Bill Clinton, who idolized John F. Kennedy. He even met him in 1963 at the White House. They shook hands. There's the photo. But Bubba and JFK lived in two very different times. Kennedy had affairs with everyone, from Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield to his wife's friends, to staff members and interns. Mimi Beardsley, she wrote a book about it. She's still alive. And the media covered it all up. They never made it public. They knew about it. They never made it public. 30 years later, Bill Clinton takes advantage of a 21-year-old White House intern, and Bubba got caught bad and single-handedly created the most famous piece of clothing in American history, a blue dress that she still owns, apparently. Would you throw it out? That dress has the most famous stain on it in American history, a stain that will be tied to Bill Clinton forever. 1,000 years from now, no one's going to remember that Bill Clinton balanced the budget, but they will remember the blue dress. And then there was Anthony Weiner. Remember this guy? His last name's Weiner. Democrat congressman took pictures of his last name. Okay? He took pictures of something that he shouldn't be taking pictures of, and he posted it on the internet. And then would you look at that? When Anthony Weiner got married, who was the officiant? Bill Clinton officiated his wedding to a woman who's now married to George Soros's creepy kid. And the circle goes round and round, but Republicans are not that much better. And they have fallen victim to this same pattern many times before. And just 30 minutes after Eric Swalwell resigned last night, Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez did the exact same thing with this very bizarre tweet. Quote, "There is a season for everything, and God has a plan for all of us. When Congress returns tomorrow, I will file my retirement from office. It has been a privilege to serve the great people of Texas." He said God has a plan for all of us, which I thought was just an odd thing to wedge in there, like he just lost an election and didn't do what I'm about to tell you about. Tony Gonzalez is a still married father of 6 children who all live in Texas. Tony admitted to having an affair with a member of his staff who was also married. Tony, just like Eric Swalwell, apparently had a thing for texting naked pictures. In one exchange, Tony texted a female staff member, quote, "Send me a sexy picture." He went on to ask her favorite sexual position and then mentioned multiple sexual acts. The aide eventually replied by telling the congressman, quote, "This is too far, Tony. Please tell me you didn't just hire me because I'm hot." Tony replied, "No way." Tony does not sound like a great guy. Tony does not sound like a great husband. Tragically, though, after they broke off that affair, that staffer went on a downward spiral that ended with her committing suicide in September. She set herself on fire. She burned herself to death for Tony Gonzalez, who called the affair a lapse in judgment.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.